You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We do this segment called Power to the People.
Power to the people.
Empower to the people.
Empower to the people.
Empower to the people.
And we are empowering a local business in the Jersey community this morning.
Inglewood, New Jersey.
Yes, my guy, Mr. Todd, the founder and CEO of Mr. Todd's Pie Factory.
Good morning, New York, Jersey,
Good morning.
Connecticut.
We did this for the free desserts, by the way. You know, desserts are my favorite part of every meal.
Well, you know I got you covered. We got sweet potato, red velvet, a little bit of everything this morning.
What's this right here?
That's buttermilk coconut.
Wow.
Buttermilk coconut.
Now, y'all know I don't even eat like that, but I go get my hair cut, like right next door at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there to get a water one day, and it just smelled so good. And he slid me a sweet potato pie on the low, like, hey, this for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home and ate it, and I was like, damn. So then I went back and ended up getting, what's that, the blueberry crumb cake. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
You sound like a fat bastard. Then I went back.
I did. I went back the next week. Like, hey, let me get one of them blueberry crumb cakes you got in there.
That's crazy.
Well, Mr. Todd, you been along for how long?
Oh, wow, man. I've been at this for a minute. I started in 2002. That's when the Mr. Todd's Pie Factory concept got started. But, I mean, I've been in the baking business for about 30 years now, even when I was in high school.
Okay.
I spent my summers while you were at Hampton. I think I was up in Jersey, but I'm from Portsmouth.
Okay.
So I'm from
757,
Virginia.
okay.
Yeah, 75. It was 804, actually, when I was coming up. Yeah,
both
exactly.
both
So, but no, this is my passion. Like any true entrepreneur, when you believe in something, despite all the potholes and roadblocks that might be out in there, you just stay with it.
So what got you to New York since you're from 757? Well, from Virginia.
Yeah, so I was born in Yonkers.
Okay.
And
Okay.
when my father retired from the military, my stepfather, we moved down to Virginia. And that senior year in high school, my godfather said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready to go to the University of Richmond." He said, "Well, look, I'm starting this bakery. Why don't you come up and work with me?" So before I knew it, I spent the next 4 summers working in Paterson, New Jersey. And by the time I graduated, I just got like seduced by this thing about being an entrepreneur, staying up all night, going across the GW at 2 and 3 in the morning. And my parents like, "What? You went to school for 4 years? You're going to be a pie man?" I said, "You damn straight." And
There's
been
good
doing
money in it.
What made you want to start baking though? What woman had you open that you was like, I'm gonna bake her a cake or something?
He said he worked at the bakery.
Oh man, well my fiance's got me open now, Chef Danielle Saunders.
Okay.
You met her. She's amazing. But, I was always the one next to my mother, grabbing a leg, trying to get a hold to the spoon and taste it.
Lick the spoon.
Lick the spoon,
You're not supposed to do that, right? With raw eggs and stuff. I always hear that. I know we
Man,
love to
I've
eat.
been doing that.
I'm just asking
We all
because
right.
people have said it's dangerous. Is it really dangerous to lick the spoon?
Not a good thing. But to answer your question, what I found out in working with my godfather is that if you could make a product, in this case a pie, charge the right price and market it the right way, you could make a living off of it. And then that's when I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to work for anyone. And, once you get that blood in you from being an entrepreneur, it's contagious.
Now, you told me an interesting story about sweet potato pie. You said it's a whole history behind sweet potato pies.
Yeah, I think we were having a conversation about the whole, Walmart pie craze. And all
Patty
that.
pies.
Patty pies.
Yeah.
And I said, look, God bless her. I love Patty. Her music is phenomenal. But if you look at the history of sweet potato pie, and I'm talking about going back to like 1904 with Mary McLeod Bethune, and at one point, when she converted the private school to Bethune-Cookman, she needed to raise money to keep the school afloat. Guess what she did?
Made pies.
She sold sweet potato pies. It wasn't Mr. Todd's, but it worked. So when you look at that, to say that, hey, as a community, we're going to get all hysterical and start having convulsions over something that's $3.48, and the meaning that this product has in the community is much deeper than 348 cents.
Break it down for us.
I mean, there's civil rights. Slaves came over by the boatloads with hundreds of pounds of potatoes attached to them. So there's a history behind it. And when you talk about the community, this being Black History Month and what it means, there are a few things that are iconic, and sweet potato pie is one of them.
Now, you on Shark Tank.
Yeah, I was a sacrificial lamb. I was
Famously on Shark Tank.
actually the first entrepreneur that appeared. Shout out to Damon. In 2009.
Now, what happened with that? How did that work out?
It was a great experience. To this day, someone's always asking me about it.
Are you the person that Damon came up here and said that was you? That he said that the only deal that didn't go bad. He said you never called him back.
I hope that wasn't me.
Okay.
But
So wait, all right,
ultimately, it didn't work out.
Why not?
They offered to buy half the company or invest and have half ownership of the company. You accepted on Shark Tank.
Right.
And then
You
changed your mind.
Yeah. She must be
You
a
could-
producer on the show or something.
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know.
Why'd you
could do
change
that
your
either.
mind?
Well, look, here's the deal. At the time, I had my first store down in Somerset County. We were doing well over $1 million in sales.
Wow.
And everything about the show is true. I didn't know them, they didn't know me, but the one thing that was kind of shady was my number was 1.2 million. They said, Todd, we love your product. Your backstory is amazing, but it's too much money for TV. Can you make it a little better for TV? So I'm like,
For TV.
you're telling me to come pitch what I need? That's not what I need. So I went from 1.2 to 700 to 400, and then I got an email, you're on the show. So I knew that if I said yes, it wasn't really in line with the valuation of my company. But on the flip side, I knew that if I said no, I might not even get to TV.
Got
And
you.
lo and behold, my story, I guess, made them think, well, hey, this guy's got an interesting story. Let's put him up first. And that first 5 minutes of any news show is critical. And so I've been blessed as a result of it. But the grind still continues.
So what did they offer you on the show?
They offered me $460,000 for 50% of the business.
And you said yes.
I said yes.
On TV.
And then when you got off TV, you was like, hell no.
Hey, that don't even make no sense if you was making over $1 million in sales.
Exactly. No, look, Damon and I walked through Central Park a couple times. Barbara Corcoran, they were the two that offered me the deal. And I just thought about it. I said, you know what? It's just, when you've done something all your life, it's like me saying, Charlamagne, I got $1 million ticket right now. I wanted to take your position. You might, I don't know, you might not take the million, you might not, I don't know. But you know what I mean? When it's something that you love to do.
Got you.
So that was me. And although it was a great offer, they're two great entrepreneurs and you can learn from people like that, it just wasn't the deal for me.
If they gave you the number you had asked for, the 1.2, would you have done it, you think?
It would have been Barbara, Damon, and Todd's pies.
Right. So no
Did you
matter
see-
what the number
I'm
was.
just kidding. Yeah.
Did you see a number spike from that appearance?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is in 2013, right after I opened the store in Inglewood in 2012, I lost that store in Somerset. So
Okay.
that was a proverbial.
How'd you lose it? It was just bad business or sales were low?
Right after Hurricane Sandy, I took some losses, and I had tried to expand at the time and thought the bank was going to finance a little bit more. It didn't work out, and ultimately I had to close. So that was kind of like the final drive and touchdown that Brady scored against the Falcons. But again, those are the things that happen. But as an entrepreneur, you've got to find a way to be resilient, be passionate, and bounce back from it. And that's why I'm here this morning.
Now, question. I heard a rumor that with Shark Tank that when you appear, the first couple of ones especially, that they get a percentage of some of the stuff that you sell. Is that true?
Oh, it's absolutely true. I think it's changed.
Really? Now, it's changed now.
Yeah, it's changed. When Mark Cuban came on the show, he said that, look, if this doesn't stop, I'm not going to be a part of it. But funny thing is, one day in Somerset, one of my employees calls me and says, Mr. Todd, somebody from Sony is here to see you. And I figured it was, I had a great relationship with him. So I get an email from the guy, and he's like, oh, this memorializes our conversation about the Shark Tank royalties. He was coming to check on the royalties.
Wow.
So,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
serious.
Now,
yeah.
I heard that. I heard if you go on there,
Yeah.
you have to give them royalties because you're using them as a platform. But I heard they changed it.
Yeah, it was a good, few points back then, too.
Yeah, no,
Cuban
I heard.
changed that.
What pointers would you give to young entrepreneurs, especially young black
Dr. Mark Cuban
entrepreneurs
for changing that.
that want to open up their own businesses? Like, what's the difficulties?
That's a long answer.
It's
but,
a long list of things.
It's a long list of things. I'd say number one, do your homework. Think it out, research it out. Don't no analysis paralysis, but do your homework. Know what the market is. Test market your product. Second, manage. Yeah, absolutely.
You have to really be involved. I feel like if you're starting your own company, you have to make sure you're there and you know what's going on. And
Hands-on.
Employees, like it's really difficult, I think, even just hiring the right employees.
Yeah, because look, if you're trying to do what we're trying to do, and that's build a brand where people don't say, give me a sweet potato pie, they say, go get me a Mr. Todd's. You have to make sure that everyone that you hire is in line with Angela or Charlamagne or Envy's goal and what they see and how they envision the brand. Because if you don't, one
Right.
little thing can mess that.
Like bad customer service could make somebody never come back. Or even if the pies aren't prepared right, they could be like, oh, I had a bad experience one time.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're giving you a bad review online.
Oh, hey, I've dealt with that, and it's serious, and we don't know how important that is until it happens. So yeah, that's very, very important, especially in a retail environment.
How'd you get the money? How did you get the money to invest in your business? You said you went to the bank for finance, and was the bank originally the people that financed you and helped you out? And was it a black bank?
Well, it's a good question. My first loan was in 2002 when I opened Somerset. And I literally walked into a bank on a referral, and the guy said, "How much do you need?" My hand was shaking. I said, "I need $15,000. So his name was Mayo Sisler, banking legend down in Somerset. And he said, "Come this way."
It was a black bank?
No, it was a white bank.
Got you.
And he said, "We're going to do it." And he literally gave me $16,000 on a handshake.
Wow.
And the loan officer looked at me. He said, "This doesn't happen anymore." He remembered you.
That's amazing.
And,
You made him a pie or something?
I don't know what I did, but he wrote the check. But it went from there to 50 to 75, and then right after Shark Tank, I wound up getting a loan through a credit union for the same amount that Barbara and Damon offered me. That was the other reason why I decided not to take the deal, because a credit union gave me pretty much the exact amount of money without having to give up equity.
You don't have to give any
Yeah.
Is it scary to take out a loan that size too? Like to think about, like, man, I gotta.
You know what's scary? What's scary is going to Iraq or Iran and some of these other places.
Fact.
Getting up every day and going to work. A guy came in my store one day complaining. I said, "Man, look, my brother's over there in the war zone right now. I don't even know if he's going to make it home, and you're complaining about going to work."
Ooh.
So no, there's nothing scary about that. People said, "Were you afraid to go on Shark Tank?" I said, "No, I was more worried about taking the damn plane over to the West Coast. It was my first time going to California."
Wow.
So
You ever think about Biggie getting shot or something?
I don't know what it is, but it's how crazy it was.
Shot.
At the end of the week, they said, "Mr. Todd, where you going?" I said, I ain't getting back on that bird. I took the train home from
Wow.
California.
Lord have
That's
mercy.
crazy.
Goodness.
You were
gracious,
smoking
Mr.
sweet
Todd.
potatoes. Stop
I was
lying.
on something. I did, yeah, no joke.
How long did it take you to pay the bank back?
Oh, man.
Or
I
did you
never
file
did.
bankruptcy? Did you
Never
file bankruptcy?
did. No, I didn't file bankruptcy, but that was part of the reason why I lost the store, because I thought they were going to do the next funding round with me, and they said they wouldn't. The loan was too new, and it just kind of spiraled out of control from there.
So you started having real success when you got to Inglewood.
No, the real success started in Somerset. That's why I
Okay.
really built the name.
Gotcha.
Inglewood has just been an extension of it, but no, we haven't hit that plateau that we hit in Somerset yet. It's coming, and hopefully, things like being up here this morning, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, because you guys carry a lot of weight. Not after eating one of my pies, but even before the pies, and so I'm very appreciative, because I told somebody the other day, there's Ray Kroc, Colonel Sanders. One day there's going to be a story about Mr. Todd. So I might not be the one to benefit from this, but hopefully one day my fiance and I will have kids, or my nieces and nephews. They're probably going to reap the benefits of Mr. Todd busting his tail all these years. And I'm cool with that.
Absolutely.
Because as an entrepreneur, that's what it's all about,
Do you try other people's pies? Or do you only eat your own?
My mother makes a good pie.
I mean, like other bakeries.
Patty.
I tried the patty pie.
Okay.
What would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's a commercial pie.
Okay.
It's not Mr. Todd's. Again, I think it's more marketing. What
What
was
you
his
mean?
name?
It's manufactured.
Charles
Yeah.
Soup.
Is it? No, Jane. Who sang the video?
Oh, I forgot the guy's name. I know you're talking about.
I need somebody. Can we
need somebody
recruit
sing?
somebody to do a video for me this morning? I need a video, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Once you taste this pie, you'll see there's no smoke and mirrors. It's literally the best pie you ever had. I remember a lady wrote me a letter one Monday after Thanksgiving, and she talked about how everybody got around the Thanksgiving table. It was the first Thanksgiving without the family matriarch.
Right.
And when they took a bite, people started crying. Look at my hands. People started crying because it made them think of their mother's pie. And that's the stuff, when I have to close a store, when the snatch man is looking for me, or this happens, that's what keeps me going.
Right.
Because I know it's just a matter of time before it pops. And if there's anything I can tell any entrepreneur, especially a young one getting started, you just got to keep believing. Because if you don't believe, he's not going to believe.
All right.
And that might be the person you need to invest in you. So despite what's going on in your life, you got to keep a positive face. You got to keep a positive attitude and just keep grinding.
Do you
That's
own?
great.
Do you own it by yourself, or do you have a bunch of owners?
Chef is my partner, Chef Danielle Saunders. She's a
His wife,
celebrity-
fiance.
That's your
Fiance.
fiance.
She's a celebrity chef. Cooks for a lot of great people.
Mm-hmm.
But no, look. Aside from the bank, I've gotten friends in the family, family's friends, cousins. You name it. Whatever it takes. My godfather told me this a long time ago. He says, whatever it takes to keep your business afloat, sometimes you may have to do that.
Absolutely.
Because although, look, it doesn't say the Forbes 13 million or the Forbes 50 million. It says the Forbes 400. Everybody is not going to be Diddy or Jay-Z.
All right.
The backbone of this country, it is the little corner bodega, the little bakery, It's the small business that employs less than 25 people that fuels this economy. So although we think it's all glitz and glamour because of the hip hop and the Atlanta Housewives and all that, man, it's a struggle. It's real.
Did you get any funding from the government? Because when Sandy hit,
Yeah.
I lost my car wash. My car wash was washed out. And even with my soda company, like we lost so much inventory. I mean, it was all lost to waste, but the government was able to help a little bit. Was the government able to help with any of yours or no?
I got insurance money, but actually the loan that I took after Shark Tank was one of those, I call it an Obama loan, where you could get a loan, there was no closing fees. So I actually, got a sizable loan without having to put any money down.
But I tell people that all the time, and people get mad at me. During that time, it was easier to get a loan. It was easy to get a mortgage. And I know some people abused it, and the people that abused it, that messed it up, but it was easy to do things.
You're
way
right.
easier.
Yep.
Like I bought my first house at 22, 23 years old, but I didn't have any money. I didn't put no money down, but I had a job, and they were
Right.
able to give me that property. Now,
You
it's
can't even
almost
do that.
impossible.
Yeah, well, because of that whole debacle around
Yeah.
2008 to 2010, all the regs changed. Some of the big banks went under. But you're right. You're spot on. It was much easier to get money back then. Look, I told you, I walked into a bank, got $16,000 on a handshake.
Right.
That's crazy.
So, but look, they're saying those things might start coming back, with the new administration. That apparently they're going to free up some regs. So let's see what happens. But, don't wait on them.
No, you got to do it yourself.
Don't wait on them.
Does everybody that's on this health kick, does that like stifle business?
Or do you have healthy options like
Healthy pie, vegetable pie.
sugar free? I know sometimes like my grandma can't have sugar, so we just have to get her sugar free cookies and stuff.
That's a great question, and you always look at relationships and what they mean to you. I mean, I love my fiance to death, but one of the things that she's really brought to the table is that, hey, look, you got to come up with a healthy option. I'm a firm believer that when you're having a rough day and you need to, you're feeling down, you're gonna go get something that makes you feel good.
Yes, sir.
Give me a Big Mac and. You know what? What the hell? Supersize it. So people are always going to gravitate to something that makes them feel good. So I think there'll always be a place for calories. But she's made me look at the gluten-free options. I mean, she does
It's gluten-free, because people say gluten-free, but they say it's just a name for...
It's for people
Just
who
to
have
say
wheat
people
allergies.
say
If people have
healthier.
wheat allergies.
But they say there's no
that's-
difference, really, though.
the taste is different.
It definitely
the
tastes nastier.
The taste is different. I mean, she does
Nastier.
a lobster, shrimp, and grits, and the grits are gluten-free. And they're the best. They're yellow grits, too, Yellowstone ground. Best grits I've ever had in my life. And I grew up in Virginia.
Y'all do that? Y'all do the brunch menu, right? Y'all got brunch?
I brought the brunch menu with me.
What's on that thing?
Yeah, let me see what's on that brunch menu.
Shout out to Leland, family, a Hip First family. He's always in there every Sunday.
Yeah.
I see Lynn
they
the other
were-
day in Inglewood.
Yeah, fried whiting.
Wings and waffles.
Lobster,
Wings
shrimp,
and
and grits.
waffles.
Wings and waffles.
She does a salmon cake.
French omelet supreme.
So you guys have to come over. Maybe we can do a live remote from the pie factory.
Let's
one
do it.
morning or something.
You know what's so funny, man? This is something that I wanted to start something like, because we are the Breakfast Club.
Oh wow.
I want to start like some type of free breakfast program somewhere.
You
know what I
that means
mean?
you're going to have to actually go, though.
What you mean?
Why do you know?
I'll show up to a couple, but
All right,
remember how
there
the
you
Black
go.
Panthers used to do the free breakfast program?
Sure.
I want to do something
That'd be dope,
along
I'm
those
in.
lines.
I'm definitely in.
Look, we make muffins every day. So anything I can do to help further the cause, I can't tell you how many people have helped me on my journey. So
Yeah.
anything I can do, it's incumbent upon me to pay it forward. So I'm in. Just let me know. I mean, we're here for you.
Well,
And
we
what's the
appreciate-
website for people to go and find you and see you and all your social handles?
Yeah, so they can go to Mr. Todd's Pie Factory, MRTODS Pie Factory, and my Twitter and Instagram are the same, MRTODS PIES, Mr. Todd's Pies.
I like this frosting. So far, I've only gotten to the frosting because I didn't want to be greedy during the interview, but it's delicious.
I had to try all of it so I can talk about it.
The address is 15 West Hudson Avenue, Inglewood, New Jersey. You can call them at 201-567-5370. My man, Mr. Todd.
I consider myself a dessert expert, so
Thank you.
we're going to check all this out.
All right.
Did I get a passing grade?
Yeah, so far.
And you open every day, right? Monday through Sunday?
Except Mondays.
Except for
Closed-
Monday.
Closed on Mondays.
Okay.
All right, well, it's the Breakfast Club.
Right.
Mr. Todd.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.